So I hope you're following along with a couple of the videos we're making here about questions that we get asked regularly. And I've got a couple here that are sort of related. This one is, why does the priest wear robes? Well, the bishops and the deacons, they have some what we call vestments as well. But that's one question, and it's sort of related to this, to two more here. Please explain the importance of the church calendar and the colors. That's connected because our colors, the stoles that we wear, and other parts of the fabric, the material change. The colors change throughout the year. And why does the inside of the church look like what TV says is a Catholic church, a Roman Catholic church? Large gold crosses, robes, etc. And those three questions are kind of related. So let me try to answer those. The last one I think is pretty interesting because if you turn on, let's say, one of the Pentecostal or charismatic TV stations, they have their own gold. It's usually not crosses, it's chairs. And for those of you that watch those, you'll get a chuckle out of that and appreciate it. But let me give you a Bible answer, all right? So here we go. Exodus 28. Now before you say, well, Darryl, that's the Old Testament, follow along with me if you would, please. Exodus 28. Call for your brother, Aaron, and his sons Nadab, Abihu, Eleazar, and Ithamar. Set them apart from the rest of the people of Israel, so that they may minister to me and be my priests. Make sacred garments for Aaron that are glorious and beautiful. Instruct all the skilled craftsmen whom I have filled with the spirit of wisdom. So we have here commanded in the law of Moses the forming, the making, the shaping of beautiful garments for Aaron and for his sons so that they may minister to the Lord. Now, there's a couple things going on in that story that the Bible picks up and carries all the way through to the book of Revelation. Here's a couple of them. One, there are distinct persons upon whom the Holy Spirit anoints. He calls them to do specific tasks in the church. And one of those tasks is to minister to the Lord. Now, our English Bibles don't always translate it quite this directly, and I'm not sure why. I'm sure maybe if some Bible translator saw this, maybe they could give us a scholarly answer in this regard. But that word minister can also be translated liturgy. It's a liturgy. There's a formalized method of worship, an organization of what God has commanded of Israel that they have to then offer to the Lord. And part of that in the tabernacle and then later in the temple are the vestments, the beautiful garments. And if you read through the rest of Exodus, you'll see it has to do with the construction of the tabernacle itself, with the Ark of the Covenant, with the showbread, with the candlesticks, all these other components. Okay, now that we did that little bit of research into the Old Testament, let's go to the New Testament. The book of Revelation. In the book of Revelation, the Apostle John is on the Isle of Patmos as a prisoner. In chapter 1, he has a vision. And who does he see? He sees Jesus. And Jesus is wearing a long white robe. And he's got a sash around him. You say, well, that's Jesus. That's Jesus. I'm glad you bring that up. You go on further, a couple other extra chapters into the Revelation. And what do you start noticing? The elders and the angels. And John tells us that they're wearing long white robes. But keep reading in Revelation, and you're going to get even further on out, and you're going to see something else. That all of the saints in heaven are wearing white robes. And there's candles burning, and there's incense going up, and there's the sacrificial lamb looking as if he's been slain. There's God himself sitting on his throne. All this very ornate liturgical worship in the book of Revelation that John sees because of a vision that the Holy Spirit gives him, or a series of visions. So why do we have these things in our worship? I guess a better question might be this. Why did the church think it was okay to get rid of them? When we go further back into the history of the church, to the very people that were trained and discipled by the apostles, we can see in their writings that they maintained and preserved some of these elements. The question isn't, why do we do them? The question is, why did we stop?